T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What is up? What is up, everybody? Happy Hallows Eve. Hello there, Nutty the Squirrel. How you doing? It's good to see you made it. So this is my pre-Halloween costume. I totally dig tigers, and it's one of those awesome rompers, and it's even got pockets, so I couldn't turn that down. I've never had the opportunity to get one, and now here I am. I am the biggest fat cat in the house. So I know we've tried to do this before. It has not been successful. Some of that is because of technical issues, because of trying to stream through Amazon. Apparently they don't believe in doing anything the easy way. And then trying to stream on here has been hung up by the YouTubies because of copyright. Well, we had us a little stroke of genius. You guys know how much I love zombies, and I found out that the greatest zombie movie in history, the movie that started it all in relation to the zombies that we know and we love today because of a happy accident, is copyright free. It is public domain. So that being said, we're going to be watching the 1968 Night of the Living Dead tonight, just for fun, just so we can cut up and have a good time and just kind of do something together, Nutty, I am doing good. I've got to actually upload a vlog. I've recorded some over the weekends here and there, It hasn't been terribly bad. I was just kind of running on a little bit of sleep, if you know what I'm saying. And, things were kind of interesting. Kind of met a dude by accident. Wasn't planning on that to happen. I'll get into that when I upload the vlog, though. And I am still doing the Girl World Horror Story for tomorrow night. I will be scheduling that later on this evening after we are done with our movie. And this week is going to be pretty good. The next couple of days is going to be pretty good, and then I work a long weekend. So I'm kind of dreading that, but, we do what we got to do. Good. Ooh, see, I have never really been able to get into pumpkin pie. There's something about the consistency of it that just doesn't jibe with me, if you know what I mean. I don't know what it is. I mean, and I'm not really overly crazy about pumpkin just in general, but yeah, the consistency of it just kind of doesn't do it for me. All right, so I figured we would talk for a couple minutes, just give everybody the chance to accumulate here. I mean, we've only got 3 of you guys here in the chat. And then we'll get this party started. You know what I'm saying? See, I'm not crazy about yams either. Same problem. There's something about the consistency that just kind of just doesn't quite jibe with me, if you know what I mean. Mm. I wonder if, okay. All right. Mm. I'll tell you what I do like though. I like sweet potato, which is really kind of weird. Yeah, see, I like sweet potato, but I've never, and the pie thing is what hems me up. There's something about when, the way that they're cooked in a pie that kind of changes the consistency enough that it kind of grosses me out. Welcome to everybody who has come in. We're just taking a little moment to kind of chit chat, hang out for a second. And what's going to happen is we are going to allow people to come in before we kick this party off. And I am going to let you guys know that I have already shifted it past the end credits because, you know, the end credits take up a couple of minutes at the very beginning where they're driving in, you know. So we're going to jump right in at the point where the opening credits kick off. Yeah, I don't really do pumpkin spice anything. All right, so what do you say we get things started here, y'all? I got to do some finagling. I got to do some maneuvering here. Hang on one second. Boom. And I even came in and went ahead and manipulated it so I'm off in the corner so that you guys ain't got to deal with my big head on screen. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. Now, I am going to mute because I don't want. Yeah, Henny, I told y'all. Hey, you saw the tiger suit. You saw me buy it when I went, my dude. I figured this would be a night before Halloween outfit and just, you know, whenever I felt like it, you know. Side bonus, it has pockets, which is amazing. I wasn't expecting that. So, yeah, I'm going to be queen of the jungle for the night, you know. See, I've never had pudding pie. I'll have to look that up. All right. All right, gang, let's get her going here. Let me make sure volume is set. All right, kicking it off. Night of the Living Dead.
Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, you know that she can. Is there any of that candy left?
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't.
What does it say about the state of affairs of things that they drove hours to go visit a grave? I mean, this is going to sound bad. My mom's gravesite, like her formal gravesite, is only like 40 minutes from me, and I haven't been out to that once, mainly because I feel a kind of way about it. Times were definitely different when this was shot.
You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Johnny, it takes you 5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth. Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she stays at home.
Well, we're here, John, all right?
Do you remember
Oh,
one
Jesus.
time when we were small?
My
were
bad,
out here?
y'all.
It was from.
I apologize. Why didn't somebody say something sooner? I could have. Okay. I muted it thinking that if I was over here crunching that it wouldn't bother y'all. I figured, okay, that's my fault. My fault.
Right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boys, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared here.
Johnny,
You're still afraid.
stop it now. I mean it.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Classic line.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny. Oh, no! Johnny!
can't wrap my mind around her. I mean, right now she's in that fight or flight mode, but she loses her shit after Ben gets there. That sounds good, sunshine. I'll see you later, honey. Right, Hannibal? Nah, Nutty, you know he smells better. True. Making history with that dude right there, y'all. In case y'all didn't know. Agreed, Hannibal. And Romero did something never done before with casting this gentleman right here, Mr. Jones. First black male hero ever on film.
As soon as they find out about us.
Perfect choice, too, by the way.
The truck is out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out if we can get some gas. Is there a key?
I can't get over the rotary phone, y'all.
I suppose you've tried this. Do you live here? Jesus.
Agreed, Hannibal. I'm covering that in the part 2 of the zombie fascination thing I'm working on. There's a whole section.
Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
That's funny.
What's happening? What's happening?
Two of them. There are 2 of them out there. Have you seen any more around here? I can take care of those 2.
I
know you're afraid, but we have
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very handsome man for that time. gonna lie, I had kind of wanted to find like a colorized version of it because I'm pretty sure they did that at some point. I just couldn't find it. That to me probably would have been better, but here we are. Yeah. Goes to show how intelligent of a man Romero was. Yeah, gives a lot more depth, I think.
I know we're in here now.
Right, Hannibal?
Don't look at it.
Make sure they're down. I like that. Like that little card table's gonna do something.
Get some more lights on in this house.
I love the fashion of the time frame that they filmed this in because, you know, everybody was like, they were still very casual, but they were still dressy. Right. Card table of steel.
Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some boards, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up. God damn. Look, I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here.
I can see that.
Until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay?
The adrenaline done fried Barbara's brain, y'all. No, I know. I agree with that, Hannibal. I will never understood this pile of wood underneath the kitchen sink. It's like, let's just put some wood away in case we want to build a table later. Right, Nutty? I owe how much?
That's strong. I want you to cut some nails. Pick out the biggest ones you can find. Yeah, this room looks pretty secure. If we have to, we can run in here and board up the doors.
Right.
Won't be long for those things be back pounding their way in here. They're afraid now.
No joke.
They're afraid of fire. I found that out. You know a place back down the road called Beekman's Diner?
That's exactly what she did, and that's why I'm infuriated with her, because
There's a
why?
radio on the truck. I jumped in to listen to it. And a big gasoline truck came screaming right across the road. But there must have been 10, 15 of those things chasing after it, grabbing and holding on.
You gotta give it to Ben. I mean, he's obviously a very intelligent guy, because I mean, he was doing all this thinking on his feet, you know?
Those things were catching up to it. Truck went right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have cut off the road.
Yeah, MacGyver before MacGyver was a thing.
Diner. It went right through the billboard, ripped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now, it's like a moving bonfire. Didn't know if the truck was going to explode or what. Still his man, screaming.
This is good acting on his part right here.
This thing is just backing away from it. I looked back at the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me.
He just looks emotionally exhausted.
That's when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except by now there were no more screams. I realized that I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things. Just
Hello.
standing there, staring at me. I started to drive. I just plowed right through them. They didn't move. They didn't run or just stood there staring at me. Just wanted to crush them. They scattered.
I really love the crickets.
We were riding in the cemetery.
It adds to the isolation of it
Johnny
all.
and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny and he said, "Can I have some candy, Barbara?" We didn't have any. And it's hot in here. Hot.
That's true.
And he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?" And I said, "Johnny, if you'd gotten up earlier, we wouldn't be late."
I think it adds to the fact,
Johnny
too, that the
asked me
zombies
if
are
I
not
were
human
afraid.
anymore. That's another way of
And I said, "I'm
subconsciously
not afraid, Johnny."
adding to that.
And then this man started walking up the road. He came slowly, and Johnny kept teasing me and saying, "He's coming to get you, Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, "Johnny, stop it." And then Johnny ran away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I looked up, and I said, "Could he?" And he grabbed me. He grabbed me, and he ripped at me. He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, "Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me!" And he wouldn't let me go. He ripped. And
Oh,
then
no
Johnny
doubt.
came and
That's
he
'cause it's
ran,
awesome.
and He fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran.
She needs a
Johnny didn't
Xanax.
come. We have to wait for Johnny. We better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there.
Right, Nutty?
Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please, we have got to go get Johnny. Please help me. Please.
Right.
Don't you know what's going on out there? This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone.
Your brother is dead.
No, my brother is not dead.
I'm going to say this. I don't generally encourage hitting women, but, you know, in this case, it's 100% justified between her insanity and her smacking him. You do what you got to do at the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? Right, Nutty? My dad has one of those radios. It's really cool looking.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency
Don't get in trouble,
network
Fiend.
to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic
True.
of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking
He
place
popped
in
that
villages,
reset button on her.
cities, rural homes, and suburbs with no apparent pattern or reason for the slayings. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being So, at this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff's deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally deluged with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Miami, along with the governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened as yet. The only advice our reporters have been able to get from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and TV for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and factory workers are being urged to stay at their places of employment, not to make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urging and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic people trying to reach their families or apparently to flee just anywhere. We repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay where you Ladies and gentlemen, we've just received word that the President has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the presidential cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI and government teams behind closed doors. The White House spokesman, in announcing this conference, says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible following that meeting. This is the latest dispatch just received in our newsroom. Latest word also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C. now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which
too quick on his feet,
will include high-ranking scientists from the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. The extent of this latest meeting, members of his cabinet, the FBI, Joint Chiefs of Staff, and all radio and TV stations, including journalistic, have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and TV and to stay indoors at all costs. Late reports reaching this newsroom tell of frightened people seeking refuge in churches, schools, and government buildings, demanding shelter and protection from the wholesale murder which apparently is engulfing much of the nation. Law enforcement officials are at a loss to explain or even a desire even to theorize about the reasons for this wave of murder. So far, we're able to give the public TK Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina, who's quoted as saying, quote,
right?
tell the people for God's sake to get
He definitely gonna need that cigarette. He's fixing the light.
and lock their doors and windows up tight. We don't know what kind of murder-happy characters we have here. And Chief Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina. So far, the only descriptions, the only clues anyone has of the killers come from frightened witnesses of some of the statements. These eyewitness accounts very often describe the murderers as ordinary-looking people, misshapen monsters, people who look like they're in a trance, and things that look like people but act like animals. Some eyewitnesses will tell of seeing victims who look as though they had been torn apart. This whole ghastly story began developing 2 days ago with a report of the slaying of a family of 7 in their rural home near California. Since then, reports of such senseless killings began snowballing in a reign of terror which has hotspotted and wrecked disconnected throughout most of the eastern and midwestern United States. Efforts to keep track of the murder reports by the placing of markers on the map seem to indicate a general spreading from the extreme southeastern and state to the north and west. Our newsman has been on the telephone talking with officials in other cities and have determined that none of the
Right.
murder has yet been reported west of the Mississippi River, except in the extreme southeastern portion of Texas. Similar killings have been reported around the Houston and Galveston like.
I found a gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday
Oh, and
when it
these.
became clear we were facing some kind of national emergency. When first reports began filtering in, newsmen and law enforcement agencies were of the opinion
This place is boarded up pretty solid now.
in nature. However, as these
We have to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon apparent
We have a
this was
gun
something
and
more than the
bullets.
usual run of lawlessness.
Food and the radio.
Began to suspect an obscure kind of conspiracy.
Sooner or later, someone's
Possessed
bound to come and get us out.
creatures from outer space. So again, we join with law enforcement agencies, urging you to seek shelter in a building. Lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Take cautious of any suspicious strangers, and keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me,
Goes on in the absence of any
but I'm going upstairs now.
That's funny.
If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it. Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been
Her shoes are gone again. Does anybody else notice
by their
that?
murderers.
Continuity problem there. Right, Nutty? He knocked her into another galaxy. I love the use of the shadows.
To the effect that people who acted as though they were kind of tranced were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland have concluded that in all cases, the killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they killed. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to imagine such a thing actually happening, but these are the reports we have
Wigged
been
out, my
receiving and
dude.
passing on to you. Reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of news.
We're from town. A radio.
He just looks like a butthole, like from the first onset that he enters into frame. He just looks like a turd.
No further details available at this time. However,
Well, you guys been down there. I could have used some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How are we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody that needed
Well,
help.
It was
It's
kind
hard to
of
hear what's going on from down there.
hidden.
We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have meant those things were in the house afterward.
And you wouldn't come up and help.
Well, if there were more, that racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there. Now you say it sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice
Little
to
bit.
get the story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not gonna take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We went into a safe place, and you're telling us we gotta risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this? Well, mister, we came up, okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't
I'll have to look them up.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Thanks, Val.
most of it. Other few spots upstairs, they won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me those things can't get through this
I know,
mountain
right?
pile of wood? His wife and kids downstairs. The kids are
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
With all of us working, we can fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy. You know that? You got a million windows up here. All these windows, you're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good
Never heard of
fireman
them.
can do that.
That's
I'll
my
check 'em out.
point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if they're that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we never know where they were going to hit us next. You got a point,
Yeah,
Mr. Cooper.
everybody wants to
But
be
down in the cellar,
the
there's no place
boss.
to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no
Yes.
windows, if a rescue
Yes.
party did come, we wouldn't even know it. But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I agree
I don't
with
know,
Ben.
Mr. Cooper. I think he's right. You know how many's out there?
I don't know, maybe 6 or 7.
Look, you two can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens. Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper. No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours. Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
What am I doing? Yeah.
If you box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
True.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
There's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
Agreed.
It's all right.
Score. Uh-oh. Woo, full moon, y'all.
We gotta fix these boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be in every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in that damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for
actually
everything
not
up here.
sure,
The
but I
radio
know
and
it's
food
supposed to be
supply,
in the
what I'm
south,
fighting
though.
for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane. We've
Exactly,
got to have
Pat.
food down there. We've got a right.
This is your house.
We've got a right.
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly, I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business.
No
However,
biggie.
I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid. That old man is so stupid. Now, get the hell down in the cellar. You can be the boss down there. I'm boss up here.
That's an awesome line.
You bastards. You know, I want to open this door again. I mean it. Mr. Cooper, with your help, we could... With my help?
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Wait a minute. Judy, come on up here, honey.
Facts.
You're gonna let them get hurt too, huh? It's all right, honey. Go ahead. If we stick together, man, we can fix it up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
What are you doing?
Hey. Hey, kid. What's wrong, you know?
What?
I'm not boxing myself in down there.
This radio station will remain on the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them. There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard the screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
Coward. I love how shady his wife is, by the way.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there.
Can we take a minute to just appreciate the fact that he's got his pants hiked up to his
Me let them in down here?
rib
That's
cage?
important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay in.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't know anything yet. But there's mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe place to hide.
Take the boards off that door.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us to tell us what to do. How are we going to know what's going on if we lock ourselves in this dungeon? We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything.
Ooh, that's
Those people
cold.
aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper, that's on the television set upstairs.
Let's go up. Tom?
Yeah.
If Judy would come downstairs for a few minutes, Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away.
I love that look she just gave him.
Look, honey, nothing's going to get done with them down there and us up here. Do this for me. Okay, open up.
Hey, Shelley, that's absolutely true.
I'll take good care of her, Helen. She's all I have. Why don't you go upstairs now?
come out that door looking like he was ready to fight with somebody.
My brother was killed.
Hey, give me a hand with this thing.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
Barbara shot out, y'all.
Don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper, Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
Her brother was killed.
And they talk about these windows. I can't see a damn thing. There could be 15 million of those things out there. That's how much good these windows are.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Thank you. I like Helen. She's probably one of my favorite characters.
Drag a couple of those chairs together.
There's a socket over here. You better watch this and try to understand what's going on. I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do to
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me, and that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on.
Get him, Ben.
No sound. Play with the rabbit here.
It reports, incredible as they seem, are not the results
Right.
of mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're
Right,
imagining
Shelley.
all this?
Shut up!
Oh yeah, she is. She got some chutzpah.
wave of murder which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word of just arriving, and I'll interrupt to bring this to you. This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread
Very cool.
investigation of reports from funeral homes, morgues, and hospitals has concluded that the unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed. We're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you and make your way to that location as soon as possible.
So we have that truck. If we can get some gas, we can get out of here.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know, that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Emergency meeting called this afternoon by the president. Since
Just a quick second. The towns that they listed actually on the screen are real towns nearby where they filmed this at, and they actually ended up releasing it there in that state last because they didn't want to release it there and then have people actually go into a panic thinking that it was an actual event because they were worried about, creating like a War of the Worlds sort of scenario. So they released it in bigger cities first and then filtered it down to smaller towns. How funny is that?
Convening this conference of the presidential cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an earthbound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here. That's the space vehicle which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it. Could that radiation be somehow responsible for the wholesale murders we're now suffering? Newsman Don Quinn in Washington has posed those questions.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump?
Look,
You're coming from a meeting regarding the explosion of the Venus probe, is that right?
Yes, that was the subject of the meeting.
You feel there is a connection between this and the
There's
phenomenon?
a definite connection,
In other words, you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations?
There was a very high degree of radiation.
Just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has
The
been
only logical explanation that we have at this time.
In other words, it is the military viewpoint that the radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
I can't speak for the entire military at this time, gentlemen.
It seems to
I must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
everything is being done that can be done.
We'll have to hurry for our next meeting.
Professor, you feel that there is a definite connection between the definite connection as far as Dr. Keller and myself.
Doctor, please. I thought we decided that is not proved yet.
Was the satellite, when the satellite was exploded, unusual amount of radiation enough to cause mutation under certain circumstances?
Could have happened.
Have a bearing on it.
It does seem to have a bearing.
Will there be a reply
Later?
Yes.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon. There will be a report this afternoon.
Perhaps there will be a report.
Yes.
A later report. Will you close the window?
We are doing everything possible to solve the problem.
Some further explanation of this.
we've heard all these, we have to try to get out of here.
He said the rescue stations are doctors and medical supplies. If we could get Karen there, we could get help for her.
Elmo is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science.
Thank you,
and
Val.
technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
Any moment.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down into the basement and put a bar across the door, and it is pretty strong.
How could we possibly get away from here? We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
Dr. Drank.
Did you notice that Harry Cooper says we've got X number of women and children, an X number of men and women, an injured child, and a woman that's out of her head? He doesn't qualify Barbara as a person.
Your entire staff.
That says a lot about
has
him.
been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic complications? Well,
Look, you go down there and tell, Judy, you tell Judy to come up here and you stay with the kid, all right?
In the cold room at the university, we had a cadaver from which all 4 limbs had been amputated. Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its trunk. It was dead, but it opened its eyes and tried to move.
We watched her upstairs. Did she ask for me?
She hadn't do anything.
I don't understand. Baby. It's Mommy.
I heard. I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
Thank you, Judy.
The body should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after
Yep,
death,
on
then,
on
does the
purpose.
body
They
become
wanted it to
reactivated?
It's
seem.
only a matter of minutes.
Minutes. Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
No, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried
More
to the
realistic
street
that way.
and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forego the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
I see.
I need you to find some
They
bears.
did the same thing with The
tear them
Walking
into
Dead.
small strips, okay? Is there a fruit cellar here?
Yes.
We need some
Agreed.
bottles or jars to make Molotov cocktails to hold them off while we try to escape.
Hey, there's a big can of kerosene down there.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll look for the bottles. There's a big key ring down there. Or maybe a key to the gas pump on it.
Only
Okay.
helpful thing he did the whole movie.
We can toss the cocktails from a window upstairs. Meantime, a couple of us can go out and try to get the gas and come back for the rest of the people.
But that'll leave a door open someplace.
Yeah, that's right. It better be this door. It's closer to the truck. Before we go, we'll put some supplies behind the cellar door. While we're gone, the rest of you can hold up in there.
I found some fruit jars in the cellar. And there's a key on here that's labeled
Yep.
for the gas pump out back.
I'm not really that used to the truck. I found it abandoned.
I can handle the truck, no sweat.
Close to home, eh, Patricia?
You're it then. You and I'll go. We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door. You can go upstairs and toss the cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the cocktails, you hustle back down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because we'll have to get back in quickly. After we get the gas and get back into the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck. Let's move it.
Good plan so far.
Except for the rescue station, which has been set up. Indications are that before this emergency is over, we will need many, many more such rescue stations.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time? How many do you have done? Come on, honey, we gotta move.
Tom, are you sure about the phone?
The phone is dead out. All you get is a recorded message.
If I could only call the folks. They're going to be so worried about us.
Everything will be all right. As soon as we get to Willard, we'll call them. They might even be there.
I know. Tom, are you sure we're doing the right thing, Tom?
What, about getting out of here?
Yeah.
Well, the television said that's the right thing to do. We've got to get to a rescue station.
I don't know.
Come on, honey, you're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now.
But why do you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump. Ben doesn't know anything about that stuff.
But we're safe in here.
For how long, honey? We're safe now, but there's going to be more and more of those things.
I know all that.
Hey, listen. Remember when we had the big flood? Remember how difficult it was for us to convince you that it was right to leave? Remember we had to go to Willard then? This isn't a passing thing, honey. It's not like just a wind passing through. We've got to do something, and fast.
I just don't want you to go out there, that's all.
Hey, Smiley. Where's that big smile for me? Boy, you're showing no use at all, are you? We've got work to do, honey. And you...
We better get her downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while, until we get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, I'd like to leave.
Yes.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You ready upstairs? Yeah. Okay, toss him.
Go ahead, go on.
Get back in the cellar. No, it's too late.
Where's it coming? Come on. Get in.
That's funny, Nutty.
Come on. This key won't work. Watch it.
They say that
Watch the torch.
Jones wasn't comfortable handling that gun. That's part of why those shots turned out the way they did.
Gotta get away from the pump.
Shit show in progress, y'all. Good gracious.
Get out of here. Come on, come on. Wait till it's gone.
Hey, you still made it for some of it. And you can always play it back later, Bridge. Look at Harry's face, y'all. The squib work is awesome. Run, Dan, run. Ooh, looks to kill, y'all. That's Ben coming right there. Get him! Yes. Woo!
I drag you out there and feed you those things.
He deserved every bit of that, y'all. That right there, what you're seeing, that is actual animal entrails. They went to a butcher in town. The butcher actually ended up playing one of the zombies, but that's actual pig entrails and cow bones and stuff like that left over from butchering meat. Fun fact. That's what you call dedication to your role when you're willing to eat unbutchered animal. You know, raw animal.
Isn't it 3 o'clock yet? There's supposed to be another broadcast at 3 o'clock.
I agree with that.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
Only 10 more minutes?
But
we don't have very long.
People involved were committed, I guess.
Leave. Well, we better leave soon. It's 10 minutes to 3.
You know anything about this area at all? I mean, is Willard the nearest town?
I don't know. We were just trying to get to a motel before dark.
You said those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away.
Nah, dude, she shot out.
Forget it. It's at least a mile.
Johnny has the keys.
You're gonna carry that child a mile through that army of things out there?
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry? Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You're gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
He got his attitude adjusted.
Good Lord.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection stations.
Hey, weak men don't work like that,
The
though.
level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed.
Yeah,
into
you
the
keep
flesh
telling
of
yourself
ghouls.
that, Hannibal.
All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. Our news cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls. This one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
What do you think from the supply wagon, Gus?
The sheriff right here, when they remade
Put that thing all the way in the
Night of the
car.
Living
We don't want it
Dead,
sitting up again.
he plays a role in that.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all kind of noise. We came over and beat them off, blasted them down. Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you had a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them. They go up pretty easy.
Well, Chief McClellan, how long do you think it will take you until you get the situation under control?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are. We know when we find them, we can kill them.
Are they slow moving, Chief?
Yeah, they're dead. They're all messed up.
Well,
That's a good
in
line.
time, would you say
They're
you ought to
dead.
be
They're
able to
all
wrap this
messed
in
up.
24 hours?
Well, we don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
Thank you very much, Chief McClellan. This is Bill Cardill, WIC TV 11 News.
Thank you, Bill, for that report. Official spokesman declined to speculate just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters, so long as the heavy radiation.
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign,
Is
folks.
the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know. It isn't the fuse. The power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
Haven't you had enough?
But 2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window. Click it.
He's a tool. Right. Scrambled them last 2 brain cells he had rolling around up there. All that posturing, and he's basically just a scared little rabbit. Right. Moral of the story, don't piss Ben off. does it say about Harry Cooper when his wife has put up more of a fight through all this than he has? Weak men make hard times. Y'all keep that in mind, y'all.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to stay up there now? Now look, get this over. Get this over now. Move!
Ooh, facts. Facts. And that's what we all wish we could do to Dana right there. Take him out. Take him out. Longest death scene I've ever seen. Jesus. I hope so. Oh, there's our guy from the cemetery. He's been lingering around outside the whole time. Too little, too late, Barbara. Right. Right, it's like, where was this chick the whole way through the movie, yo? The little girl was not in the scene with this lady. They didn't want to traumatize her. They had her do the movements with the trowel, and then they took her out of the room. Yeah. They don't do stuff like that anymore. Creative camera play is lacking these days. Right, but she fell victim to that maternal instinct, my dude. Oh, look at who it is. He's coming to get you, Barbara. There's Johnny. You've been looking for him this whole time. I do got to hand it to them. They did rig up that door really well. Yep. Look at that. Would never have any idea anything was wrong. How crazy is that? Look at the puppers.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out. You should have it here, Bill.
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with the National Guard.
Where'd you get the coffee?
One of the volunteers, you're doing all the
Right.
work.
I love German Shepherds.
We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours. We'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet
True.
the National Guard.
True.
Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
Well, Bill, they're checking off to see what's happening. All right, Steve, tell them we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
Poor Ben, he's exhausted. That adrenaline's gone, y'all. I can't get over that shooting stance, that squatting. Pew, pew, pew.
They need you down there by the barn.
Yeah, man.
Control the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince. Yeah, it sure looks like it, Tom. Okay, come over. The police from the other side. get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire?
I love that he declares it's a dead one after he shot it. How would he know? Oh, the rationale.
You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire. Nothing down here? All right, go ahead, Don, and give him a hand. Let's go check out the house. There's something there. I heard a noise.
That's true, but that one wasn't the only one that did that, though. See, that hurt my feelings the first time I saw this.
Okay, he's dead. Let's go get him. That's another one for the fire.
Yep.
All right, send the wagon through. How directly I am. Over. Keep those dogs back off of those things.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie. The first time I watched this movie, that hurt my feelings because he worked so hard, not only to keep the other people in the house alive with him, but to keep himself alive too. And the only thing, like Hannibal said, that could have saved him at the end of it is if he had made some kind of noise to, give off the notice that he was human. The problem is that, ultimately he was in a situation where he was damned either way, because if he made a noise, that could have attracted a zombie to him, because we know that they're attracted by sound, Well, wait, let me find it. There we go. Here's the deal. I mean, I don't know specifically what Romero had in mind with the situation in relation to Ben dying at the end. I know that him picking Dwayne Jones as the protagonist, that was intentional, because he wanted to have a black male lead. That was a choice on his part, even though the producers that were working with him at the time said that someone else should be chosen aside from a black man, and Romero broke down a lot of social stereotypes with this movie by choosing to have a black man as your lead. And I think realistically, the fact that he survived to the very end is why it is that it hurt so bad that he ended up dying over something so small. Exactly. And that's the way a lot of zombie movies are made. If you will look at, especially at Romero's movies specifically, and I'm working on a video to get further in depth on this, but Night of the Living Dead, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead all have some sort of underlying social commentary involved. Romero, although he was a great storyteller and he loved to terrify people, he had things to say, but he did it in such a nuanced way that it's not nearly as in your face as it would be with horror movies today. They're very, very geared to, in that time frame, they were very geared to saying it without saying it, planting that seed without, blowing a hole to put it in, and that I think is part of why the older zombie movies are going to always be more superior to the ones that could be created today, no matter how far advanced the special effects and practical effects may be, or, even having such an exorbitant amount of money to film and develop them and all that, because it has more to do with the fine details and the nuances of it all. Let's see. That was about the racism. Second was about, yeah, you see, Hanny knows. Me and Hanny hadn't had our conversations on it, but Hanny knows. Me and Hannibal only had one conversation about zombie flicks strictly by accident. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to zombie intrigue and people being kind of enticed and entranced by them all. And I started this because it is going to probably end up having to be 3 parts in total. But the first one, it was about the sociological, the connection between zombie movie production and rise in popularity versus the time frame that they were in and all the societal stresses that were going on in those particular time periods. Because we have this sort of connection with them, and it has a lot to do with psychology and dealing with our fears and our biases and all these other issues that we carry around with us as people. You're very welcome, Patricia. I'm glad. I'm hoping that you had a good time. This, for me, I absolutely love and adore this movie. There is nobody better than Romero at zombie movies. God rest his soul. And the fact that this just happened by freak occurrence to not have a copyright put on it because they didn't fill out the paperwork correctly is just a happy accident for us, because now you can say you've seen this movie and, maybe even show it to other people, because it is a classic. It will always be a classic. And it does speak a lot to that particular time frame. It speaks a lot to things that are timeless, like biases toward people that are not like us. It speaks a lot to a lack of issues in relation to masculinity. You have Harry Cooper, who was a textbook definition of toxically masculine. He wanted to be in charge. He wanted to be the biggest dick in the room. You know what I'm saying? He viewed everyone as beneath him because of whatever circumstance. Harry, Judy, Helen, Barbara, they're all beneath him. The child, even his child, beneath him because they are not male and they're not white. The problem is that with toxic masculinity, they tend to be the weakest men there. They're not truly masculine. You have Ben, who is actually a masculine man who seeks to actually be a protector of the people around him and to do the right thing, versus Harry, who is ultimately a misogynist and a bigot, who is only really worried about saving his own neck, and that's why I said, be sure to remember, weak men create tough times. Everything was going fine while Ben was in charge, and then Harry gets involved, and what happens? It all starts to crumble. And here we are, and everybody's gone at the end. We weren't able to save anybody at the end of it all. So I have had a really great time with you guys. I'm glad we were finally able to work this out so that we were able to actually hang out and just shoot the breeze and, watch a movie. And I guess I will try to find some kind of way for us to do it again, but there's not a lot of public domain movies that are not older than 1960. So this, by the way, this is not my Halloween costume. This is just, I bought this just because I love tigers and I've never had a jumpsuit. And I've seen so many of these floating around, and I figured, why not? It isn't like I do off the wall stuff all the time, and, if I get myself into a mood and it's cold and I want to lay around and act like a big old fat cat, I can put my tiger jumper on with its fancy pockets and just be lazy. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, but little mama come in here and she was making this face at me like, what is wrong with you? Because when I put this jumper on, Boo Man, he got a little nervous because all he could see was the cat face. But little mama didn't get to see it until after she came in here. So They don't know. They don't quite know what to make of this. All they saw was eyeballs and whiskers. But I like it. It's kind of hot. I'm not going to tell you a lie, but it's fine. I wanted to say thank you guys again. And thank you guys to everybody who decides to come through for the replay. I hope you guys enjoy it too. Like I said, even though I'm kind of talking through bits and pieces of it, I tried not to do that too much because, especially for people who haven't seen it, I didn't want to ruin the experience, you know. And if you do want to be able to watch it without me talking or without comments popped up on the screen, you can search it on YouTube. Like I said, it's public domain. There are a few channels that actually have it in its entirety up where you can see it. I appreciate you. Thank you, Nutty. This was just as much for me as it was for you guys. I mean, like I said, I like being able to hang out with you guys and not just be stuck talking about the girls, you know, which, you know, we're going to get to do tomorrow. I've already got everything, you know, condensed down so that we're not having to watch through umpteen bazillion videos. And I will be setting up the stream for that in a little bit. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow, where you will actually see my Halloween costume. I have an appointment in the morning to go have my stuff, my little touches done so that I'm all set up and all I have to do is put my costume on. And then I'm going to have set up my porch, and hopefully I'm gonna get a couple of whatchamadoodle trick-or-treaters, but I don't know. I'll have to see. They've been doing a whole lot of that trunk-or-treating thing in this area, and you know, I've only had one person tell me that, you know, that they were going to actually be out trick-or-treating. So at the very least, I know I'll get one, which I guess makes it worth the effort to me because, you know, it's a little, you know, little kids love Halloween, you know? Yeah, girl, that's exactly what I said. I was like, ooh, I think we're going to do that. I haven't dressed up for Halloween in probably 10 years, give or take a little bit. And I really love Halloween. I actually love Halloween more than I love Christmas. And it's because that is entirely my own, whereas Christmas has a lot of memories and stuff like that attached with my mom, you know, because Christmas was my mom's holiday. That was her thing. She made a big to-do of it. So I'm going to kick off here. I'm going to get on that other stuff that we were talking about to get ready for tomorrow. And I've got some stuff to do around the house here. I have not flipped my sleep schedule back because I've got four shifts coming up this weekend instead of 2. That's a long story. I'll get into that tomorrow, I guess. What's going to happen is I'm going to be up all night cleaning, doing stuff, you know, all that. And then I will be back probably about the same time we kicked off tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm going to set it probably about between 8 and 8:30. That way, you know, that gives, you know, we know ain't no kids coming through here after 8 o'clock. You know, them folks is going to have them youngins in the bed. So tomorrow night will be ours, all ours, and we can just have us some fun. I, again, thank all of y'all. I had a great time. Thank y'all for putting up with me talking through the movie. And I will see you guys tomorrow evening. I look forward to that because it's been a little bit since we've had any Girl World discussion. And tomorrow, praise Jesus, is the last day of Vlogtober. And I'm got to say, I'm glad that it's going to be done for a little bit. So I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a wonderful night. I'll see you tomorrow. Happy Halloween to all. See you later.